Hi all. Apologies. We just had a fire drill here on campus. So we're just giving everybody another minute or so that they can join us. Okay. So go through the presentation, and then if there are any questions, you can just jot them down in the chat function or just wait till I'm finished, and then we will be able to go through those queries. Okay, so let's just give everything a chance here to play catch up. Right. Okay. There we go. So we're talking about the F1 and the F3 results, which were officially released today. And this is for the assessments that you submitted between the 16th and the 22nd of September on Cole campus. The last day for submission was on Friday, the 22nd of September, a minute before midnight, and no submissions after that were accepted, and also no emailed submissions were accepted. As I warned you before my previous video, we do not give subs if you had technical problems, as you had 7 days in which you could submit your assessments and you could make use of campus facilities where there is power and where there is internet. So I'm sure by now you should know how to access your marks. There are 2 places, or 3 places actually, where you can access your marks. The first one is called Campus, which we'll look at afterwards, and then it's your student progress report on the student portal. Just a reminder how you access Cole campus. It is username 8 underscore your student number, and then the password is your ID number or passport number that you registered with. And then to get into the student portal, it is again your student number at myboston.co.za, and the password is uppercase B for Boston, your ID number, then exclamation mark to go into the student portal. And this is actually a great way to check your progress report. Now, your progress report is the overall calculation of your marks. Now, all marks should already reflect on Cole campus. If you are unable to see your marks or you can only read your feedback, that is because your account is in arrears. I urge you to quickly go to accounts to have a discussion with them to come to a payment arrangement so the block on your account is clear so that you are able to see your marks. Even if you email myself or anybody else in admin, we will also not be able to give you your marks for assessment if your account is in arrears. The only thing that we are able to do is to tell you whether you've qualified for a supplementary or not. Now, why Cole Campus is a good way of checking your individual assessment mark is that you don't just see your individual assessment mark on Cole Campus, but you can also access your rubric where you can see the feedback. And that feedback is important for you to know, because how do you know why did you lose marks? How do you know how to improve on for your sub or your summative? But very, very important. Cole campus can only be used to check individual assessment results, not overall averages, as Cole campus does not work it out correctly. So I reiterate, Cole campus can only be used to check your individual marked assignment mark as well as the feedback. If you want to see your overall average for a subject, you need to go into the student portal, and there you will be able to see your progress report. You can also come to accounts or email admin, and we will be able to email your report to you, which shows your overall average. Now, when you log on to Cole Campus, this is your dashboard, and then on the right-hand side, you see that little blue tick on a booklet. Now, that's where a lot of you check your grades. Now, I just want to let you know that this is not correct, because just takes all the grades for a particular subject and just works out the average. Now, as you should know from your subject outlines, not all assessments are weighed equally. If it is a semester subject, the formatives count 40% of your overall mark. If it is a year subject, your formative counts only 20% of your overall mark. So that is why do not pay attention to this overall calculations of Cole Campus. It is not correct. You need to check your student portal or get your progress report from accounts to be able to see how much you have overall. A much better way to check your marks is if you go onto the subject on Cole Campus, then you see the home page. And then on the right-hand side, you see there says something that says recent feedback. And then it has the assessment code, subject code, formative assessment 1. Then you would click on that. And then you would be able to see your rubric with feedback and your mark. Now, this is a much better way of getting feedback on your assessment because, as I said, it gives you your mark and it gives you the feedback on your rubric that you need to know where you went wrong and how to improve for your next assessment. Now, as I said, if you can see your mark on Cole Campus, but you can't see feedback, please contact the subject's academic manager, not if your account is in arrears, because they will also not be able to see your mark, okay? Now, the academic manager's email address is on the home page for each subject. If you looked at your mark in your rubric and you do not agree with something, so if a plagiarism penalty was applied to your assessment, but you believe that your referencing was 100% correct, you are allowed to follow the academic appeal process within 5 days of the release of the results. So the academic appeals for these formative 1 and formative 3 results will close next week, Friday, the 20th of October. Now, something which is increasing is a lot of students are using AI to complete their assessments. This is incorrect and it's unethical, so you will be penalized for that. Now, what does it mean when I say AI? This is when you don't trust yourself and you don't trust that you have the capabilities to write, and you ask AI to write the assignment for you. We can pick it up in copy leaks and we will penalize you because then it's not your assessment, it is the robot's assessment. You are allowed to use AI as a helpful tool to improve your language, to provide you with extra articles if you're looking for sources, but it shouldn't be the author of the work. You are the author of the work. I encourage you to look on YouTube. There is many videos where there's academics that says how you can use AI ethically in your research and in academics, because you can use it ethically. Just do not pretend that it wrote the assignment and it's been you. Okay, remember that. Now, how do academic appeals work? Now, an academic appeal can be made for a specific subject's assessment result, and it must be made 5 days after the release of the results. Now, you cannot just appeal all your subjects in one email or just say, I don't agree with my mark. It doesn't work that way. You have to make the effort of actually going through your assignment and having a real appeal, like a court case. So you have to say, Question 2.3 asked me to define advertising. I did so and I provided an in-text citation. However, it was marked incorrectly. And if one looks at the textbooks, my definition is correct. Please, can you relook at it? So you actually have to make effort when you're drafting your appeal. And you have to be specific and say, I don't agree with this. Because of this, here is my evidence. You cannot say, I want to remark. We do not have a remark policy. You cannot say, I don't agree with remarks. It doesn't work that way. You have to apply yourself, because the better way you've written your appeal, the more chances you have that your appeal will go your way. So how do you appeal? Firstly, you send the email to me, karika@boston.co.za, and you have include your branch manager. If you're at Sandton, it's myself, or in Pretoria, it's Taryn, and in Durban, it's Brett. Then in the subject line of the email appeal, you must say your academic appeal, then you must say your surname, first name, your student number, subject and subject level, and assessment. So, for example, be academic appeal for boy Karika 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, radio 2, formative 3. Then in the body of the email, like I just say, you have to write very clearly and very comprehensively why you are appealing, and here's your evidence why you believe you were unfairly marked or you were unfairly penalized. Then I receive the academic appeal, I log it, and then I forward each appeal to the appropriate academic manager. That is why you can't just list all your subjects in one appeal. It has to be one email, one subject, one appeal, because it goes to different academic managers. They read your email and then they will adjudicate it, whether that means contacting you or going back to the lecturer or re-looking at your assignment. They will then write the feedback and send it back to myself and to you to get the feedback. Please note, an appeal is not a continuous conversation. So once your appeal has been declined, it has been declined. Once a person says no, they say no. You can't say no, but this one says no, let me try curriculum, let me try this one. We operate according to set policy guidelines as to what is allowed and what not. And then how does the formative 1, formative 3 supplementaries work? You can only participate in a supplementary if you have met one of the following conditions. The first condition is you are allowed to participate in a supplementary if you had participated in the original assessment event. So you can participate in the October subs if you participate in the supplementary, in the assessments in September. Number 2, if you had missed your September assessments and you applied for a sub straight after you missed them due to a legitimate reason, like illness or death of the family, and I granted you a sub, you are allowed to participate in the sub. You can't now say to me, I missed my assessments because I was sick. The rule clearly says that you have 48 hours of the missed assessment to apply for a legitimate sub, which is sickness or death in the family. And thirdly, and this is very rare, if you lodge an academic appeal and you were granted permission to do a sub by myself or an academic manager, you are allowed to do the sub, but it has to be in writing for a particular subject. As it is a formative sub, you will be charged 250 Rand for participating in the supplementary. The only people who do not pay for the subs are people who miss the assessment due to legitimate reasons such as illness. You only have one chance to write a sub. If you miss the sub again or something happens, you will not be granted another opportunity to sub. Please note that you have to complete the formative 1 and formative 3 subs now in October that were submitted in September. You cannot do subs from last semester for this semester. And sorry, I made an error there. It's not the semester A supplementary, but it's the semester B formative supplementaries are happening from the 28th of October to the 3rd of November. These briefs you can get on Cole Campus under modules. So you'll see it says F1 sub brief or F3 sub brief. They're already available. And as I said, Cole Campus will be opened under assignments or quizzes from the 28th of October to the 3rd of November for you to participate in the supplementaries. And the sub results will probably be out by the end of November. Right. So are there any questions? You're welcome to unmute yourself or put up your hand. Any questions?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, hi.
How are you?
Fine, and you?
I'm good, thanks. Ma'am, I'm here checking my marks, but I can't even see the rubric. I can only see the feedback.
You need to go to the accounts department. It's an accounts issue.
Oh, okay, no problem. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Right. Lesedi, Miss Case.
Ma'am,
Yes, Sim, yes.
ma'am, I wanted to ask, how many marks does the supplementary add up to?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. So remember, the formative supplementaries will also count either 40% of your semester mark if it's a semester subject or 20% of your year mark. Because if you've done your F1, okay, and you didn't do well, now you're going to do your F1 sub. Then what happens is your F1 sub mark is used instead of your F1 mark for that subject. So the weighting is exactly the same as it would be for your original assignment. Does that make sense, Sim?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank you, ma'am.
thank you. Lesedi, you had your hand up, and then I'll go to the question in the chat function.
Ma'am, I have a similar question.
Okay.
On some of the assignments, it says this assignment does not contribute.
Oh, I understand your question. Yes, that's a very confusing statement. Okay, let me explain there were a lot of students who were concerned that when they submitted their assignment, they saw this message, it does not contribute towards your final grade. The only reason they do that is only for co-campus, because co-campus is a silly little system that can't work out the marks the way it should do when it comes to calculations. So the academic manager selects that, does not contribute. They have to select, does not contribute, so that we don't confuse the students. So I promise you, every single formative and every single summative you do does contribute to your final average. And that average, that correct calculation, is on your progress report, or you can on the student portal, or you can get it from accounts. So everything counts, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Let me just quickly, Dami had a question on the chat. What is the pass mark for each module? That's very easy. For your computer modules, Windows, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, the pass mark is 75%. For all other modules, your pass mark is 50%. So computer modules, Windows, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, the pass mark is 75%. For all other modules, the pass mark is 50%. Okay, Letabo, you had a question. How do you submit an appeal? I'll just quickly share the screen again where I showed. So an appeal, you need to send an email to me. That's the easiest way, but let me quickly share that screen for you. And I will also post this on Cole Campus, but how do you send an appeal? You send it to me, Karik at Boston, and you CC in your branch manager. Be sure that in the subject line, you state clearly it's an academic appeal, your name and surname, student number and subject. And then in the body of the email, you write why you are appealing. So, but you need to be very clear and very comprehensive, and you need to provide the relevant information. So you need to say, a plagiarism penalty was applied to my Journalism 1 assignment. However, as can be seen here, I have correctly in-text cited, and I have a reference list, so therefore I do not agree with it. Please can this be looked at? Okay. So does that answer your question, Latabu?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay. Right. Anybody else? This is your chance. You can ask anything. There's no such thing as a dumb question. Rather be clear of something than make a silly mistake. I do hope that it went well with all of you. And remember, formatives is just used as an opportunity to further and to improve on your studies. Lesedi, yes, sorry, you had a question again?
I kind of forgot it, man.
Okay.
I think,
Okay.
oh yeah, with
Yes.
the supplementary for the, what you call it, Excel and PowerPoint for the summative.
Yeah.
They are to be submitted next year during January.
I'll be honest with you, the earlier you can do it, the better. So computer supplementaries, summative supplementaries are a little bit more challenging in that those supplementaries can only be opened once you've paid and you've arranged with the computer person on your campus. So here by us, it's Sissy Tato to open it for you. Okay. I would say write your summative for computers well before the 30th of November. So you submitting your summatives for other subjects. The due date is by the end of 17 November. I would write my summatives for computers straight after that, so that if I then have to participate in the supplementary, you can do so before 30 November. Because the challenge is, remember, we have a life, so we're going on holiday. So most people going on holiday in December. And we know what happens over December. We get lazy. Now you're coming back in January and you say, oh, this is easy. I have no stress. I'm just going to focus on computers. Unfortunately, what it has shown us is that the January supplementaries are the worst performing supplementaries, because even though students say we're going to work hard in December, we're going to focus, we have nothing else. Let me tell you something about human beings, myself included. We don't like to work over December. We are relaxing. We are enjoying our family time. So try your best to complete your computer supplementaries before January. Then you know you can relax and enjoy your holiday. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Because I wanted to know when will the progress report come?
If
Uh,
if you've written your computer summatives and your computer supplementaries before 30 November, it will already be on your progress report. So the progress reports are coming out. It is the 5th of, yeah, it looks like it's the 5th of December. Okay. So then the progress reports, the year-end reports will be out already. So any marks that's available by then will be on the report. But if you write supplementaries in January, and the January supplementary due date will be the 19th of January, those sub-reports for January will only be ready here by the beginning of February. So try to avoid subs at all cost. Always. You should forget there exists such a thing.
Thank you.
Okay, right. Does each formative assignment contribute 20%? Latabu, a formative assessment only contributes 20% if it is a year subject. In other words, if it's like public relations 2, you did it in first semester and second semester, then yes, the formatives counts 20%. But when it is a semester-based subject, like public relations 1 or design thinking, then your formative counts 40% and your summative 60%. Okay. Okay. Right. If there's no other questions, please do check your marks. Please ask if you don't understand something. If you don't want to do it in front of everybody, please do go to your admin. Please go to your lecturer. Please go to any of the academic managers, and we will gladly help you. And stand strong. There's only 4 weeks left of classes, then we're done for the year. 4 weeks. 4 weeks, people. We're nearly there. Stand strong. Okay. Blessings to all. Have a fabulous weekend. Miss Casey, you can ask.
Ma'am, I
Yes.
wanted to ask if are the applications still open for student assistants?
Yes. Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Out too. So like for my F1 and my F2, like I got like above 80. And then I just received a sub SMS for my F3, but I can't access my marks because I think I'm owing 250. So I'm
If
not
you
sure if
got the
maybe
sub
I should just
SMS,
check.
if you got the sub SMS, I'm sending them. It means you got below 50.
Yeah, so I'm asking if I want you to advise me if I should jump straight to the summative since anyway I got distinctions for the
Sure.
past 2 assignments, or should I actually sub first? Because I've already started with my summative already because it's quite difficult than the usual ones.
Okay. If you are sure that you're going to perform very well in your summative, and you're going to make sure that your referencing is on point and everything else, like your formative 1 and your formative 2, then yes, you can take that risk.
Oh, okay. All
Yes.
right. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks. Thanks. Okay. All right. Other two, some 50H82201874. You don't have any questions? Okay. Okay, guys. Right. Then that's it. Wishing you all a blessed day. Keep well. Bye-bye.